Hello collectors, this is the Super Dave. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Traditionally I'm a 1/6 guy and 1/6 unboxings and figure reviews and whatnot. But today we're going to do I don't even know what scale this is, if it even is a scale, but it's the Bandai Tamashii Nations Samurai Style or Manga Realization Wolverine. I've got I've been a collector of the Star Wars line for quite a while, but haven't got into the Marvel line until now. Found a deal on this thing that was just too good to pass up. It was a Cyber Week deal or whatever. So let's open it up, take a look, and see what's inside. First of all, we got the box. We got the official holographic seal or whatever, Tamashii Nations. Bandai, all this stuff. Pretty cool picture of Wolverine on the front and the title of the figure, which I'm not even going to attempt that. I would butcher it, I'm sure. On the side, we got a nice little portrait of the Wolverine figure. Again, on the back, his name, some different poses to show you different accessories, the 3 different claw styles he comes with, and all the requisite warnings and whatnot. Something I've noticed, I have bought a couple of let's say, knockoffs of the Star Wars line purposefully. I knew what they were, and comparing them, I noticed the knockoffs never have the any kind of bluefin decal on them, and that might be a good way to determine if what you're looking at, if you're not sure whether or not you're getting a knockoff or the real deal, if it's got that bluefin distributor. I bought several of them from Barnes and Noble. They all come with the bluefin decal. I've got some from online retailers, and then the knockoff, of course, I got off of eBay, and it was devoid of that decal. And there were a lot of other differences, but just to address that. And then on this side, we just have the figure name again. Anything on the bottom? Nope, same thing. Got the Manga Realization logo, the Marvel logo, and figure name again. So let's open them up. It's taped on either side. And here is how I like to handle tape. Obviously, you want to be very careful anytime you're using sharps. I'm going to lay them over. Just lift this right off. Another name on the inside. Kind of cool. I don't think that's going to stand up on its own, so we're just going to lay it over. So right inside we have another, I guess, instruction sheet. Doesn't do much good. There's some English right there. Basically it says be careful. It looks like it's not though. Yeah, it is. It's just okay. Nothing in the back. Just two-sided for some reason. But you know, the kind of the standard warning when you're swapping hands: pull them straight off the peg. Don't. And then there's the instructions for the claws, and they slide right into the hand, and we'll see how that works momentarily. So inside, got a nice plastic tray with a lid over it, keeping everything in its place, and nothing underneath. As usual, this is usually where I like to stow the instructions. So pop the tray or the lid off. All right. We're gonna have stuff sliding all over the place, but there he is. Man, he looks fantastic. Way better than I anticipated, if I'm being honest. Wow, let's get him out. I'm going to get all these accessories out now because they are just sliding all over the place. Obviously, we have left and right claws, different types, and I'll show you those when we get to it. some open hands. And Wolverine himself. Let's see the best way to do this without putting any stress. Alright, he's not clipped in there or anything. He'll fall right out. So unlike Marvel Legends and some of those figures that are kind of captured by the tray, that is not the case here. I'm going to pump this back on for storage. Goes right back in the box. And there we have it. So looking at this guy, this is pretty standard. I probably should have waited to put that back together. I like to keep these plastic wraps as well, just for when I do box them back up, I do overlay some of the plastic to help protect the paint. So I am going to keep those and just set them aside to make sure I have them. These are always a little bit tricky. It's the same on the Star Wars line, the movie realization. Sometimes they'll slide right out real easy. Sometimes there's no way to get them out without tearing them, or at least I haven't had any luck with that. So both of these came right out, and you can see it's kind of a U shape. So just rotate it until you find that spot. And while I was doing that, his thigh armor came off, and it's just a little ball joint. So they're real easy to pop back on if you experience something similar. Don't panic, just find the socket, pop the ball right back in. Like I said, I've been doing this a lot with the Star Wars, so I feel like I'm pretty experienced with this line. What a great looking figure. I'm going to move this out of the way so we don't get too distracted or doesn't take away from the pop of the colors. It's a metallic paint, both the blue and the gold. And down here on the what would be fabric, it's a matte finish, but the rest is like a semi-gloss, glossy, metallic looking gold and blue, and it just looks great. And in all the pictures, that didn't register to me, or the photos weren't picking that up, weren't doing it justice. So the claws are going to pop out pretty easily. I don't know how well you can see that. There's 3 holes in there, circular and then 2 rectangular, which is how the claws fit. So now that that one's off, I'm going to just kind of stand him over to the one side, and we'll have a look at his other claws real quick. These figures stand on their own pretty well. At least, like I said, the Star Wars, this is my first Marvel version. But just the nature of their joints and the way they're articulated, they're very solid figures, and they maintain a pretty good balance in my experience. So inside we've got these claws with this kind of hook on the end. Not a hook, I guess, but I don't know. Kind of like a grappling claw. You could use it to scale a wall or something. Thinking, medieval Japan type stuff. And that's what he's got on right there. In addition, we have these bad boys. Kind of, I guess you could call that kind of serrated claws. Now these don't really have, they're kind of semi-lustrous, a little bit glossy, but they definitely, I wouldn't say have a very metallic, certainly not in the same vein as the figure. They're more of a kind of a glossy gray. Not even sure I would call them silver. They just don't have the luster that I would expect from silver, and this is natural light you're seeing reflected, so it's rather bright. But there you go. There's two of those. And last but not least, we have kind of a just the normal curved type claw that you might see on any comic book or any other iteration of Wolverine. Two of those, obviously, left and right. And they don't matter. I mean, they're the same. They're not hand specific. Now, here's the only other thing in there were his two other hands, which are open, kind of gripping hands. And these are very common, obviously, with the Star Trek line, or Star Wars line. But I'm surprised because I don't know, I think I have about 10 of the Star Wars figures, and they each probably come with at least four pairs of hands, I think. So I'm really surprised that there weren't more hands with Wolverine, and I haven't looked into the other Marvel series, so I don't know if that's a common thing with the Marvel line, or maybe it just happens to be with Wolverine that he doesn't come with a whole lot of extra hands. But I'm going to pop these out, carefully pulling straight, just like the instructions told me. They come out real easy. I'm just going to put these normal style ones in there just for the rest of this video. And line it up. And I'm pushing with pretty good degree of firmness because I don't want those popping out easily. They're probably in there a lot more firmly than they were to begin with. And I can feel the tension from the socket side gripping that in there. So that's in there pretty firm, certainly more firmly than they were when I got them. So you can see how long those are. And again, this is kind of a conceptual design, so they're not coming out of his hands. It's more of an attachment he wears, which is kind of cool, I guess. They're really neat ideas. I really like this line. No sword either. That's another curious thing. He's got his. I don't remember right now what the names of these the different blades are, but these are molded on there just like the Star Wars line, if you're familiar with those. So it's a non-functioning little blade on the front, but look at that. It's got let's see if I can focus that small. A little X logo, X-Men logo on it. That's fantastic, man. I love the level of details on these. And then, of course, you've got the X's on the thigh plates. Just an overall incredible figure. Let's have a closer look. Starting from the top, we get, again, just these colors really work well together, especially with the metallic look. And it looks so much better than it does in the pictures or anything I looked at online. Honestly, I wasn't going to buy this guy. But like I said, that deal was just too good to pass up. And I'm really happy I did. See how close we can get into the face. The detailing in the mouth is just incredible. See, he's got that kind of 5 o'clock shadow, maybe 2-day growth on there, and then just a little detailing in the chin strap and on the different layers of the armor, and then the paint. I mean, the weathering you can see in there. These figures are just gorgeous, gorgeous figures. And of all the action figures I have, these are my wife's favorites. So it's kind of nice because I don't get too much grief when I get one of these. I'm just kidding. She didn't give me grief about my figures. She's happy I have a hobby, actually. But looking at the just the detail and the molding, and the paint applications, the weathering is just incredible. That's an interesting choice. That's something I did notice in the online pictures. Those little, I don't know what you'd call that. That's curious, though. Looking at his arms. Nice, good flesh tone, good muscular mold. Now, I don't think in any of the Star Wars, certainly not the ones I have, I don't know of any other figure that's got exposed flesh like this. So that's kind of an interesting thing to see. It's always a, like a some kind of cloth underneath, whatever that garment is called, and then some shoulder armor. Whereas obviously Wolverine's got the this piece and then his exposed arms. So it looks good. It's the first time they've done it. I like it. It's good coloring, and obviously it fits the figure. And moving down, let's see, his gauntlets got this nice decoration on there. Little bits of rivets that would be holding on these claw devices of his. And on the hands, let's see where I can get the best angle of that. There is just little bits of gold where that palm piece would be held in place, or not the palm, but the that plate of armor right there would be held on. Very cool looking. So that's a separate piece from, looks like that even, which I think in most of the Star Wars ones, it's a single piece. So that's an interesting choice. Leg armor, get the other, I should really learn some of the vernacular for samurai armor. Anyway, all the different plates, and then you got his this nice matte finish of the fabric, good mold. I honestly couldn't tell you if it's the same mold that they use on all of them. I've never looked too closely at it, or that closely at it. Then we get the knees articulation. That's pretty good. That's at least 90 degrees. I would say, I feel like maybe at least my stormtroopers probably bend a little bit better than that, but I wouldn't swear to it. I don't want to get up and get one of those off the shelf. That's too much trouble. More trouble than it's worth right now. But it's great articulation, certainly enough to get him into some good poses. See, well, look at that one. Look how. So maybe I just need to work that one a little bit more. This one, that's more consistent and more what I would expect. You're getting, that's almost like a 45 degree. So maybe I just need to work with this other one a little bit. Yeah, there it goes. It was just a little tight. So that's what I would expect out of them. That's consistent with everything else I've had. And then we go down to the, see, most of these are ball in the wrist and the ankle or ball joints, which really give you a whole lot of range, especially if you want, if you work with them a little bit, you can get a whole lot of posing out of them. So if you wanted to do some really deep pose, you could get his feet firmly on the ground. Like I said, these things are, I mean, they practically pose themselves. They're so easy to work with. I love them. So there you have it. There's the Tamashii Nations Bandai Manga Realization Wolverine figure. Fantastic piece. I didn't pay retail for him. Like I said, I got this on a really good deal directly from bluefinbrands.com, I think it is. There's other retailers that sell these. I would have paid full price for him. If I knew then what I know now, he's definitely worth a full price purchase. If you're a fan of the line, you're a fan of. Some people really don't like these. I've read online that I think it's dumb, and I don't know. I'll spare the other comments I've seen, but I think it's fantastic. I love the imagination that goes into turning these guys into samurai. So I do have Deadpool on the way. He should be here next week, and if you guys like this, want to say something other than the 1/6 scale, let me know. I'll keep doing them. I'll probably go ahead and throw up Deadpool, and when I do get Deadpool in, we'll compare the two side by side. Maybe I'll get one of my Star Wars down for that, and we can look at how they're similar and different. But thanks for watching. Comments, questions, concerns, you can always find me in the comments or on Instagram. Look for some photography hopefully soon. I've got this nice little setup now, so I should be able to keep this going more consistently, I hope. Still dealing with some of those technical issues, but that's okay. It's just a longer process now, so solid recommend if you guys are looking for it. These things are fantastic. And this guy in particular, I just can't say enough good things about the paint. It's just beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous figure. I wish I hadn't waited this long to get him, but I am so happy that I have him. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.